to my Facebook Live, where you get a little inspiration, a little dose of Jesus, and a lot of keeping it real. So today we're going to talk about clouds. Not those literal clouds like on a rainy day, but I'm talking those figurative clouds, those dark clouds of just, I don't know, like that Linus character that you walk around and there's a puff of doom and gloom over your head. Lately, that's how I've been feeling. You know, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've had like this cloud follow me around, this little just shade of darkness that I couldn't break free. And it all started when I made an announcement I was going to do a talk about angels. And I did. I think I posted it last week. And, you know, it's real. It's true that when Archangel Michael drove out of heaven, Lucifer, when he fell from heaven, it says that a third of the angels went with him. So, you know, there's dark forces out there. And I think that, you know, I kind of just never really gave them too much attention, but I've realized they work in little ways, the little subtle ways of just those little negative thoughts of fear and doubt and self-doubt and just, you know, sadness and just little subtle ways. And, you know, I think it's anything that separates us from God. And that's how they operate. And I just kind of feel like maybe that's what was happening. But this week, it all changed. It all changed for me this week because I don't know if you saw my post about Billy Graham. I watched a video of Billy Graham, a documentary on Netflix called Extraordinary Journey. And if you haven't seen it, I urge you to watch it. It is really good. Now, it brought me back to what I talked about in my post that 4 years ago, about this time of year, I was about to fly out here for a job interview, and I knew our entire life was going to change. And I wrote about it in my post about how, I don't know, you scroll mindlessly on Netflix and this YouTube video popped up of Billy Graham's last interview. So I watched it and it was so good. I mean, it made me cry. And that was the first time I ever watched anything about him. I never listened to any of his talks or anything. And I just thought it was so good. And the message is just so simple that it's all about the cross. And I don't know, it just brought me comfort. And I think that's why I liked it so much. But right after I watched that, I'm scrolling on Netflix or on Google, and just to pass the time, because I'm nervous and everything. And I stumble across our church and it caught my attention. I stumbled across this old, tourist attraction church called the Church of the Cross. One thing leads to another. We go visit it as tourists, we become members, and now we're actively involved, and it's just been great. So I think it all kind of tied together that here I watched this video of this documentary of the same guy that kind of was involved in the whole thing, and it brought it all together, and it made me realize that all of those little lies, that's what they are, the doubt, the self-doubt, those kind of thoughts, they're just all lies. And Jesus reminded me that it's not about me, it's about the cross, and it's about him. And so it immediately erased all of those doubts I was having, doubts about my book. I just got back to the basics that I talk about in my book, and it's changed my life this week. It's all about the RAIN, R-A-I-N. Keeping it real, being accountable, find inspiration, and nourish the soul. So keeping it real, saying we're fine when we're not fine. Dan would say, everything okay? And I was going back to old behaviors, like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Well, I wasn't fine. I wasn't feeling fine. And then being accountable. My weight started to creep back up, like 6 pounds over where I need to be. All right, so it's not, who cares, right? But the thing is, it's a symptom to a problem. And what was getting to me was that I don't want to go back to the way things were, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, just, not feeling that happiness and joy and freedom. So finding inspiration, the I of finding inspiration. I had stopped doing me time. I had stopped journaling. I had stopped taking time out for me. I had stopped taking time out, to being with this guy. I'd stopped those things, and that's what's important. And then the in, nourishing your soul. I was in a habit of feeding my soul good, positive things to keep me motivated and on track and doing the things that I want to do. And so here we go. I watched the Netflix, then I just watched another really good documentary, when I'm doing my cardio. So I'm back to nourishing my soul. So I guess what I want to do is just share this message with all of you that if you feel like you have a dark cloud over you, those are coming from lies, those dark forces, lies. And right before I did this, I opened this thing up. right to Psalm 27. And the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? So those dark forces, no, we have a bigger, better person on our side to take care of those. And if we stay focused on God, that's what it's all about. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about him. And the message is just clear. It's all about the cross. And I don't want to be preachy, but this week it's what I needed. And so if you are watching this and you have a dark cloud over your head, I am praying for you right now that don't let the clouds get you. You can do the thing. You can go for whatever it is you're wanting to go. You're going to heal whatever it is that needs to heal. I know people watching this have health issues, or are dealing with grief, are dealing with relationship issues, and those dark clouds are getting in the way. And you know what? If it's not you, then who? You can do this. And if not now, when? Now is the time, because you already have what you need. So I pray that Jesus lifts the dark clouds wherever the dark forces are trying to hover over you, and that he just frees you from those dark forces, because he's the one, he's the strength, the truth, the light. We know these things, and so it's time to believe that in your heart, because that's how you're going to get through this. He loves you, and all he wants is a relationship with you and a relationship with me, and that's all he wants. And that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being here today. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and God bless.